I recently took a 25-day cruise on the Oceania Nautica, which holds up to 670 passengers. The cruise was called Celts, Scots, and Vikings and included stops in Scotland, Iceland, Greenland, Canada, the United States, and Bermuda. This video will give you an overview of the ship, the embarkation process, and the ship experience, but will not cover the individual destinations. I have covered the destinations in other videos, which are listed in the description below. You can also find them on the seniorsolotravel.net website. Let's first talk about the embarkation process. When I arrived at the dock, there was no one to direct me, but it was fairly easy to figure out. I dropped off my luggage in one area, then went to the other side to sign in. There were different lines depending on the level of your stateroom. For example, I was in the lowly stateroom line, which was much longer, whereas the concierge level had a shorter line. I waited 20 to 30 minutes in line. When I reached the table, I showed my passport and Oceania boarding pass and was given my stateroom key card, which was also used for boarding the ship. Once on board, I was greeted by personnel to direct me to my stateroom. The ship has 9 decks, of which passengers use deck 3 and above. Each deck has 2 staircases and banks of elevators at both ends of the ship. The staircases are decorated with artwork, and since it is easy to get turned around on a ship, I found myself using the artwork to identify which deck I was on. I'll start from the bottom of the ship and work my way up. Deck 3 has ocean view staterooms on one side and is often used as a gangway for exiting the ship. It is also the level where embarkation on tenders takes place. Deck 4 has ocean view and inside staterooms. It also includes the concierge, reception, and destination services. This level also has some lounging areas. In the center of the reception area is a grand staircase up to Deck 5. Deck 5 includes the future sales and restaurant reservations desks. In this atrium, there are lounge chairs and an area where a string quartet plays each afternoon. I settled in here several times to enjoy the music. Moving down the ship on this level, you have 2 boutiques, one with jewelry and the other with clothing, purses, and other merchandise. Next, you run into Martinis, which is a lounge and bar that regularly has a pianist in the evening. This seemed to be a popular place to relax with a cocktail. Adjacent to Martinis is the casino, with a few table games and slot machines. The casino is small, but I never saw it crowded. At the bow of the ship on this level is the largest room on the ship, the Nautica Lounge, where many of the performances and lectures are conducted. It is also where the passengers gather before excursions. Here are some quick clips of events that happened in the Nautica Lounge. The bow on Deck 6 consists of the grand dining room. This is a non-reservation dining room where all passengers can enjoy an elegant setting for lunch or dinner. Deck 6 also includes baristas where you can get specialty coffees and pastries in the morning. In the evening, it transforms into the grand bar where you can enjoy a drink before entering the dining room. Deck 7 is all staterooms, which range from inside staterooms to the owner's suite. Most of the rooms have balconies on this level. The only self-serve laundrette for the ship is on this level. It includes several washers and dryers, a sink, and 2 ironing boards. On my trip, it was a bit of a battle to get a machine. They could certainly use more machines for this many passengers, especially on a long cruise. The machines were free to use and had a dispenser for free detergent. Deck 8 is also just staterooms. All of them have balconies except the inside staterooms, which have no windows. I stayed in an inside stateroom and have given an overview of it in a previous video. I have left a link to it in the description. Deck 9 has the Aquamar Spa and Vitality Center. It has separate showers and steam rooms for men and women. If you walk through the spa and continue outdoors, there is the Aquamar Spa Terrace, which is a co-ed jacuzzi with several lounge chairs. Not a bad setting for a hot tub. The spa also has individual rooms for massage, facials, and other treatments. Adjacent to the spa is the fitness center, which has an adequate number of machines and free weights, as well as a small area where classes are conducted. This level also has a salon for haircuts, hairstyling, and mani-pedis. There are 2 additional rooms on Deck 9, a card room where people play bridge, mahjong, and puzzles, and a tech center where you can get help with technical problems and use their computers. So now is a good time to mention the Wi-Fi on this ship was abysmal. It was a consistent complaint from most of the passengers on the ship. You were only allowed to have one device at a time, which was a nuisance, but would have been workable if the Wi-Fi wasn't completely out most of the time. I upgraded to a higher speed as it was the only way I could monitor this YouTube channel. The upgrade didn't increase my speed, but allowed me to at least open my channel. That is, when I could get Wi-Fi at all. I have heard from other passengers that the ship is getting Starlink to help overhaul its Wi-Fi. If staying connected is important to you, make sure you check that it is upgraded before you register for a cruise on the Nautica. Deck 9 is also the pool deck level, which includes a small pool, 2 hot tubs, and a plethora of lounge chairs. For this cold weather trip, the deck was abandoned until the final days when it warmed up. It then buzzed with activity. Next to the pool is the Waves Grill, where you can get sandwiches, burgers, and smoothies. On the other end is a bar for drinks. On the aft end of Deck 9 is the main buffet called Terrace Cafe. I ate most of my meals here because it was consistently good food and a quick and casual setting. There is an outdoor terrace that wasn't used much at the beginning of the trip, but as the weather warmed up, it was used often. Here are some pictures from the buffet. Deck 10 houses the specialty dining restaurants Toscana with Italian cuisine and the Polo Grill Steakhouse. Both have upscale decor, fine dining service, and elegant atmospheres. The library is also on this level. It is a cozy room with a wonderful painted ceiling. It is a beautiful setting for quiet reading. On the bow end of the ship on Deck 10 is Horizons, which arguably has the best view on the ship. Horizons is where they held the daily afternoon tea service. It is also where many of the passenger games took place, such as trivia, bago, and golf putting. There was also late-night dancing scheduled here, although I never saw anyone participating. In addition, there is an outdoor fitness track on this level. It was often closed due to the weather, but was used frequently when weather permitted. If you step up one level higher to Deck 11, there is a small sports deck that includes golf putting greens, shuffleboard, and a sun deck. So that's the entire ship. What was my overall impression? Nautica set sail in 1999, so it is an older ship, but it was refurbished beautifully a couple years ago. I thought the ship was nicely appointed and very comfortable. There were only 2 complaints I heard from passengers on the ship. One was about the Wi-Fi and the other about communications on some of the excursions. I heard the excursion complaint several times from other passengers, although I personally didn't have any major issues. The staff were very friendly and accommodating. I met some delightful people on this voyage and had a marvelous time. And as a solo traveler, I was never wanting for company. We did have a medical emergency on this trip, which sent us back to Iceland and required us to miss one port in Greenland. There were other passengers that had boarded the ship ahead of me in Dublin who had missed 4 ports in the British Isles due to rough seas. I heard some frustrations from those passengers, but most people were accepting of the circumstances. Would I travel on Oceania again? Yes, if it was an itinerary that I liked and if they had upgraded their Wi-Fi. Obviously, Wi-Fi is important to me because I have a YouTube channel that needs monitoring. I had been to Antarctica and had excellent Wi-Fi, so I knew it was possible with the right equipment, even in remote locations. I assume Nautica has a plan to address this problem. I would suggest the sooner the better. I will say that Oceania has a large, loyal following, and after 25 days on the ship, I could see all the positives that keep them coming back. I met so many people that were working on their ship status and would only cruise with Oceania consequently. For senior and solo travelers, Oceania had plenty of programs and staff to make everyone comfortable. They do have solo cabins, although my inside stateroom wasn't billed as one. I received a fairly good deal as a solo traveler in that I was given shipboard credit that paid for an excursion in every port and all my tips. It wasn't a huge bargain, but a decent price for a solo traveler. The ship also hosted several solo traveler gatherings, which was excellent for connecting with other passengers. As always, if you have questions, feel free to ask in the comments section, and please subscribe if you would like to follow this cruise journey. There are now two new resources for senior and solo travelers: the Senior Solo Travel website and the new Facebook forum, where you can interact with other senior and solo travelers. I have left links to all the sites in the description, so check it out. And if you'd like to follow my senior and solo travel journeys, please like and subscribe. Cheers!